I'm going to describe to you how to play Black 7. Black 7 is played with rook cards, all right? And rook is a game, but for Black 7, we're going to play with rook cards. In the deck of rook cards, we have 4 colors, and they generate from 1 to 14. And then we have the wild card, which is the rook. Okay, so how we start the game is we take our cards and we are going to shuffle them. Get a shuffle here. All right. Shuffle our cards, and what we're going to do is we're going to deal all the cards out to however how many players we have. And one player, depending on your numbers, may have an extra card. That will be okay because as you rotate dealers, then another person will have the extra card. Okay, so everybody, I'm passing their cards out to everybody. Everybody is now looking at their cards, and they are organizing them how they would like. All right, so I'm looking at my cards, and I am going to organize them. You can put them by colors, put the numbers together, whatever works best for you. So here's my deck. Here's my hand. So how do we start the game? So the person who has the Black 7 starts the game. So I have the Black 7, so I lay it down on the table. Okay, so the next person, and you can decide as a group whether you want to play clockwise or counterclockwise. Does not matter for this game because whoever has the Black 7, that's who starts. So I played the Black 7. So the next person to play, their options is that they can play is a Black 6, they can play a Black 8, or they can play one of the 7s. Now the color here, after the Black 7 has been played, you can play the red 7, the yellow 7, or the green 7. The color here does not matter. That order doesn't matter. Okay, so the next player comes and they play the Black 8. So then the next person to play, their options is that they can play is a Black 6, they can play a Black 9, or they can play one of the 7s. So the next person plays, and they play the green 7. So the next person to play, their options are to play a Black 6, a Black 9. This time they can play a green 8, or they can play one of the 7s that are left, which would be a red or yellow 7. So this person plays, and they play a green 8. All right. So now it's the next person's turn. The next person's turn, they can play a Black 6, they can play a Black 9, or they can play one yellow 7 or a red 7. So let's say they don't have any of those cards, but they have the wild card in their hand. So they can choose to play this card. When you don't have a play, you do not have to play the wild card. You can wait if you want. So let's say they choose to play the rook card. So their options is they can play it as a Black 6, a Black 9, or they can play it as one of the 7s, either the yellow or the red 7. So let's say they choose to play it as a Black 6. So I'm going to move these up a little bit. So now the rook card is a Black 6. So let's say we go and we play, the next person they decide to play is a Black 9. The next person decides to play, they're going to play the red 7. The next person that decides to play is that they are going to play, they could play a Black 5, they could play a Black 10, they can play a green red, they can play a red, they could play a green 6, They could play a red 6 right here. They could play a red 8 right here. They could play a green 9. So you see how this is progressing, that you have more options um, to, to play, which is really nice. So there's a little bit of strategy involved in this. But in this case, there's a lot of options. So let's say a player just says, well, I'm going to play this. So this is an invalid play because, first of all, it is a 6. We can agree that it is a 6, but it doesn't follow the color scheme. So this would not be a valid play. You have to follow the color, and you also have to follow the number of the black card that's been played. So this would be this would be an invalid play because it matches the number, yes, but it does not match the color. So let's say this player doesn't have a play. They don't have any cards that they can fill in here. So there's no discard pile. So what is their play? So if you cannot play a card, what you're going to do is you're going to turn to the person to the right, or another way to say that is the person that just played a card, or it was their turn, and you're going to turn to them and say, I need a card. And that person gets to choose any card out of their hand to give to you. So if you cannot play a card on the board or on the table, then your play is to get a card from the person to your right, or to the person that just played, the person before you that plays. And you ask them, may I have a card? They give you a card, and then it goes to the next person. You cannot play that card. So then the next person plays, and let's say that everything is being played, and I finally, or somebody plays their last card. So I am now out of cards. My cards are all gone. The game stops. Okay, so the game is done and over with. So how do we score the game? So let's say one person, this is the hand that they are left with. So they've got these 5 cards left. So how the scoring goes is from 14 to 10. These are worth 10 points. Each card is worth 10 points. 9 to 1. Each one of these cards are worth 5 points. So I would have 10, 20, 25, 30, but this is a special card because this black 6 is the card that the rook took. So I was not going to be able to play this card because the rook took its place. So because I have the card that the rook is, then this card is worth 25 points. You can make it 50 if you want. We make it 25. So this, now my scoring is this card, because it is the rook. So this is 25, 30, 35, 45, 55. So I have 55 points in my hand. So once everybody has given their score to the scorekeeper, take all the cards, gather them, shuffle, and get ready for the next round. You can play to, 200, 300, or you can put a time limit on it, or however, it's very flexible, in the scoring. So take my cards, I shuffle, and I deal out, yep, you got it, I deal out all my cards. I'm a different dealer, and everybody then looks at their cards, and the big question is, do you remember, these are my cards, do you remember what card starts the game? If not, then you'll have to restart this video. I hope you guys have a great time tonight. Hi, Kevin, Lynette, and Carissa. Enjoy. Bye.